Hey y'all, welcome to another video from WreckingOut.com. Today I'm showing you how to take some 1/8 inch Amsteel and turn it into a daisy chain for a climbing stick. A daisy chain is just a length of Amsteel with fixed loops in it that can be passed over a Versa button to easily attach your stick to a tree. So the first step is measuring out 17 feet of the Amsteel, and this is going to leave you with about an 8-foot section for your climbing stick. Take some electrical tape and put it around the Amsteel before you do the cutting. This will make sure nothing unravels. And then at this point, you're going to fold the piece of Amsteel in half, and you're going to measure 2 inches, and this is going to be our first loop. We use something called a Brummel lock, which isn't a knot, but it's just a way of weaving the Amsteel into itself that it locks a fixed loop. I've done this before, and I'll link to some other videos, but you really just pass one end of the Amsteel through the other, and then you go the opposite way, passing the other end through the middle of the other piece of Amsteel. So to save some money and time, you can measure it about 30 inches and just not put any loops in it, because this will be the end that goes around the tree. And then you'll start making your 2-inch loops all over again. This time you're going to tie 2-inch loops with the Brummel locks all the way to the end of the Amsteel. So again, go one way through the center and then go the other way. This is called a fid. It's really just a number 10 knit needle that I cut down, but it allows you to do this locking in within the Amsteel. And you always want to make sure you don't pierce the middle of the threads. You'll see in the Amsteel, it's kind of like there's natural spaces between the fibers. That's where you want to go. You don't want to break up the fibers. So now that you have all those loops in there, you want to take one end, usually the shorter end, and pass it into the long end. And this is just a way to terminate it. So I'll put my fid all the way through, and then I'll put the other end like this through that hole. I pulled it through. And then you can taper it a little bit by removing some fibers, and this will make it look a little flatter when you pull up the section. And then you just need to fold it in half. And I like to take some heat shrink, pass it over the fold, cut it off, and then heat it to lock that fold over. This is more cosmetic than anything. And that is all there is to making a daisy chain with Amsteel. Thanks, y'all.